Right, I think we are live. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining me for a very quick unboxing video at the end of another working day for me doing rulebooks. So I thought I'd pop in and do this. Now there's no chat on screen. I can't see any chat on screen. If you can hear me and see me okay, please let me know if it's all working. I will try and get the chat up on screen. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. Bear with us a minute. If I go into there and I go into there, where is the chat box? There is the chat box. Why is the chat not working? Ah, it's been a few days since I've done a live stream actually, so yeah. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll try and get the chat working, but if I can't get it working, then I will just leave it for today. Yeah, turn that off. Let's turn that back on, and let's see if that works. If it doesn't work, you've got a nice bar at the side of the screen with nothing in. Anyway, this is Space Race, the board game, okay? Because Space Race came out a few years ago as a card game. This is the board game version, although you will see that there is cards in this. This is an advanced copy because I'm doing a video for the game on Friday. So this coming Friday, I will be doing a solo playthrough video for it. Yeah, going to be delivered to backers. I think it's on its way to fulfillment centers at the moment. So if you have backed this on Kickstarter, you should be getting it at some point in the next few weeks. And yeah, this box is quite heavy. And I'm going to show you what's inside. It's quite thick as well. You see that? Yeah, it's quite a thick box. So they're going to open up. Now, as you can see, I've just taken the cellophane off, so I haven't actually opened this myself. So that's nice. Oh, nice. Yeah, so we've got a nice box, inside artwork there. We've got a rule book, which I've had a hand in doing. Oh, that's nice. That's got a really nice thick textured finish. Yeah, no, the chat is not working, and I don't know why. I don't know why the chat's not working. So yeah, so we've got a rule book. If there's any problems with the rule book, you can blame me, because I had a lot to do with this rule book all the way through it. So yeah, I hope it's fine. I will be relearning how to play the game on Friday afternoon because it's been a while since I worked on the rulebook. The smell transference is not working. I'll send you some in the post. It's very nice. Right, so we've got some of these. These are one card for each faction. And what you've got on one side is you've actually got, let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Yeah, so what you've got on one side, is it that one or that one? That one, there you go. You spotted a typo in the rulebook. Yes. The word rulebook spelt wrong. So what you've got on one side is you've got the setup information. If you choose to play the Soviet faction, it tells you all of the setup you need. And then once you've done the setup, you flip it over and there is the player aid. You will never need to refer back to this during the game. Now, it does recommend for your first game, you don't use this and there is a standard setup where everybody's the same. But once you've played it once, you probably want to use the variant setup. So these are all the different nations that you can play. We have the components. Let's just zoom out a bit. Yeah, it's going to bother me that the chat's not working. I mean, I can see the chat because I've got my YouTube video open, but yeah, it's not working on the side. So yeah, so these are the different projects. These are different missions. You've got various missions. You choose one mission per game. And then these are the mission tiles and they will stack in a certain order. And you can see on back. They don't look very good when they're like that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to punch one of them out and I'll show you what they're going to look like when they are all together and lined up. Okay. So if we line these up like this, you will see it makes a nice, pretty picture, he says, if he gets them in the right order. Like a jigsaw. There you go. Right. So that's what happens when you line them up. It actually, yeah, is actually sort of, yeah, is the picture of it. There you go. Right. So, yeah, so each mission, each game you will choose one mission. And that's got various bits of information on it. You have projects as well, which you will be sending your astronauts to. It all looks a bit dark. Bear with us a minute. I'm just going to, it wasn't dark earlier. and then all of a sudden it's gone a bit dark. So yeah, so big projects, quite a bit of cardboard to punch out, but not lots and lots of little tokens. Big tiles. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Presumably this is a make your own one. Yep, so 4 of those. Oh, we got a nice little thing as well. Nice little patch. There we go. And the board. So we're going to move that to one side for a minute. Oh God, that's heavy. And just move these to one side, and we're going to get the board out now. Okay, so the board is done stylistically to represent basically a blueprint. So we got a nice picture on the back. See that? Just move everything around. Yeah, so that's the back of the board. And the front of the board is, there you go. Ah, Wolf 310 helped with the Spanish translation. Cool. Yeah, so there is the board. Too big to fit on camera. If I zoom out, in fact, I can't zoom out because my remote control for the overhead camera is not the one that I have in my hand. Anyway, there's the board. And you're going to be putting cards on this board. Basically, the cards go in these slots here, and then each player will have an area in front of them which they put their stuff on. So you can see here, this is where the mission tiles go. This is where the projects go, so these projects that we had earlier on. And you won't have them all face up at the start of the game. And the mission goes here like this, and it all starts off this side up. And as the game goes on, a game is played over 7 rounds, and at the end of each round you flip over one of these, so you can see visually that it's actually building up the mission. Right, let's go to the rest of the box. So what we have is we have a nice insert already in there, and you can see these tabs at the end. This is where the board fits in. And what we have here is we have these. So we have some really nice rockets, which the overhead camera is probably not going to do justice to, but these are all really nice. And I showed these to Vicky. Well, not these. I showed something else. I'll show you them in a minute. So we got 5 rockets, and they've got the base on them, based on which nation they are. So they are all thematically correct for the different nations. And that rocket is what you will have on this track here, which is effectively victory points. You are moving up this track, and it is effectively your victory point. So yeah, I think it's called the progress track, but it's effectively victory points. Now, there's a lot of cards in this game, and this is the ironic thing, is there was a game called Space Race, which is a card game, and this is the board game version of that card game, but there's loads of cards in it, okay? So it's just how it is. Now, you may be wondering what these 2 slots here are, because the 5 rockets were here. Well, we'll come to that in a minute. But I'm going to take out the cards now. And we're just going to zoom in a bit on this camera. So yeah, 3 big decks of cards. There is a lot of cards in this game. And let me just open this up now. And there's a few types of cards. There are, I think these are the universe cards. So these will get shuffled and they will get placed down here where it says deck. You've got deck and then the unexplored universe. And there's a clever drafting mechanism where players will kind of seed the unexplored universe, and then those will move into, the cards that you put in here will then move into here. So you do have some influence over which cards are coming into the game. But yeah, in terms of the cards, the artwork's really nice. It's a different style. I find the art very 50s, 60s style, which suits the game. So yeah, we've got a few characters, Neil Armstrong, Richard Branson. Yes, we've got lots of people, Yuri Gagarin, but we've also got these cards as well. So yeah, lots of cards. Yeah, there's so many different cards in the game. And if you're scared about iconography, once you have played the game, or once you've even started playing the game, I think the iconography is fairly clear. I mean, I would say that because I helped work on the game. But yeah, what looks initially like lots of iconography isn't actually too bad, I don't find. So you've got those cards. Then you have similar cards, but these are the player cards. And each player will start with a certain set of cards. So you can see that they're color-coded on the back. They're all the cards for one player. These are all of the cards for another player. And these have certain values in the top. And what you will do is you will play one of these cards each turn. And I might be wrong on this, but I think you play it face down and then you reveal it. And the number in the top left indicates your initiative value. And the type of card depends on which phase you play in the game. So there are 4 phases: propaganda technology, space programs, and breakthroughs. And the card that you play will basically indicate when you play. And the reason for the coloured bars, without going too much into the rules, is that you will have these cards here like this, and then you will play a card to the left, and that will trigger everything in that particular column. Whereas if I played that card, for example, that would trigger everything in that column. So you are basically building up an engine and creating combos by putting certain cards down. So if you had this one instead, you'd probably want to play one of these cards, because then that triggers the red row and you get 4, plus you get all of these special bonuses here. So that's what you're trying to do. And you get loads of cards, but remember, there's only 7 rounds. So yeah, loads more cards. The next thing is these cool little astronauts. So these are silkscreen printed. Custom sleeves. Oh yeah, so these are normal poker-sized cards. So you won't need any special fancy-sized sleeves. Yeah, just normal card sleeves will do. But yeah, look at these. So these are all really cool. You have some slightly different designs as well. So yeah, the printing on those is slightly different from those. The teal ones look the same as the purple ones, but the red ones, it's a different design. The red ones are a different design. And the black ones are, oh, they look like aliens. The black ones are a different design as well. Okay, so we've got some different designs for the astronauts. But yeah, these are really cool. And you get lots of these. Right, that is mainly it. Apart from, yeah, what goes in here? What goes in these 2 things here? Well, let's have a look at this extra little bit. This is the Cold War expansion. So the Cold War expansion comes with this, which is basically the rulebook, which is just an extra sheet. And this provides you with 2 alternative setups for the USA and for Russia, which change the way that the game plays. So what you've got is you've got 2 different new factions. You've got NASA and Soviet. You have 1 extra punch board with some war projects and the Apollo mission, which you can see on the back there. And what comes in the other little box, and this was very, very cool. So I grew up in the 70s. I was born in 1970, so as a kid I was really into space, NASA, and everything else. And I had models of the Apollo lander. I had models of the Saturn V, and you know, all of that sort of stuff. Like a lot of people. So yeah, this white box here, this contains the 2 extra rockets and the extra cards from the Cold War expansion. Okay, now you're probably not going to see how good these are, but trust me, they are good. This is a Saturn V rocket. So I'm gonna zoom in and show you what this is. So I actually opened this box over the weekend, and Vicky, who is my generally non-game playing partner, took one look at this and said, "You have to paint that, because this is really nice and really detailed." So apologies for those people who didn't get the expansion set for it, and I'm going on about how good this is, but this is really good. This is the Soviet one as well, which I don't know much about, but yeah, this is crying out to be painted. But of course, a lot of it's white, and painting white is very difficult. So that is what these 2 extra spaces are in here, is so you can fit that in, and there you go. And it's all nice and neat away. So these all go in here. Am I going to get these in the right one? I hope so. In fact, these are all going to need to be painted, aren't they? Let's be honest. I can't just paint the Saturn V. These are all going to need to be painted. Thankfully, I assume they're all similar paintings. Lots of white. Cisco says he doesn't know whether he got the expansion set or not. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? When you back these games on Kickstarter and then a year later or a year and a half later they arrive and you never know what you've got. Anyway, that is it. That is an unboxing. So what's the plan for this game? Oh, and you can see from the insert here, you've got spaces to put all of the stuff and all of the cards and everything else. I don't know what goes in here. Probably the missions. So here's what's happening on Friday. Friday afternoon, as a behind-the-scenes video for my Patreon supporters, I will be doing a Paul tries to remember how to play the game video. So that will be not going out public, but that'll be for Patreon supporters on Friday afternoon. I'm going to get the game out and I'm going to read through the rulebook and I'm going to basically reteach myself how to play because it's been a while since I worked on the rulebook. Then on Friday evening at 8 o'clock GMT, I will be doing a public live stream where I will be playing through the game. Now, unfortunately, we are still in lockdown in the UK, so it will be a solo game. But one of the cool things with this game is that you can play against up to 4 other AIs. So if I really wanted to, I could play a 5-player game on Friday. I'm not going to because my brain will melt. But you can play a game just against 1 AI or against 2 or 3 or 4. I'm probably going to play against 2 AIs on Friday evening. I'll probably play against 1 in the test game in the afternoon, and then I'll play against 2 in the evening. Yeah, so that's the plan. So that'll be Friday, 8 o'clock. Please join me live on the channel, or if you're watching this after Friday, it's on the channel now. Go and watch it. Just before I go, a couple of quick things today. Happy birthday to 2 good friends of mine, Rick Howard and Steve Manser. Yeah, happy birthday to you two. Now, Steve I've known for quite a few years. Steve has got the card game version of this, and I've been meaning to play it with him for about 3 years and never got round to it. So it will be interesting because Steve's going to join in on Friday, I think. And we'll see how it is, because a lot of people have said to me recently, I've got the card game, do I need the board game? I cannot answer that question for a couple of reasons. One, I was professionally involved in this game, so I can't tell you whether you should buy it or not. And 2, I've never played the card game. All I know is that the cards are similar, but other than that, I don't know how different they are. I don't know how different the game plays. But the card game is one that I wanted to play. I don't know why Steve hasn't come round in the last 12 months. You know, he keeps promising he's going to come round and play games, but he just never comes round. I think something might be going on in the world or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, happy birthday to you two. Oh, Rick's in the chat. Steve said he was going to be watching live as well, but I don't think he's able to put messages in the chat. Anyway, we're all done. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you like the content that I create, please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you do want to support the channel, patreon.com/gaming rules. Fulfillment should be starting by the end of March. Yes. Yeah, I believe the fulfillment centers will, the copies are on the way to the fulfillment centers at the moment. They will be getting them over the next couple of weeks, and then it will go. Oh, Cisco says the expansion was free for backers. Excellent. Right. So you also have a Saturn V rocket to paint. Oh, I'm so tempted to do that tonight. I am really tempted to start painting this tonight because Friday's playthrough is not going to be using this. So I could, if I wanted to, start painting this tonight. Maybe I will. We will see. We will see. Anyway, we're all done now. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies that the chat is not on the screen. I don't know why. It worked last time I used it, and it's not there now. So I'll turn everything off and on again, and we will see what happens. But for now, take care, everybody. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see some of you on Friday.
Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.